Good day, sir. Viewers, if you are watching, click on the like button, drop your comment and share this program. Subscribe if you have not done so. Now, the Kwara government is asking for the assistance of ESN in Kwara State. The intervention of the ESN in Kwara. What do you have to say about this?
Let me just tell you very clearly, I don't, with that report, I think it to be questioned because we don't know whether it is real or not. But if the governor of Kwara State, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, is seeking ESN intervention, giving the mass exodus of Kwara citizens as a result of, infiltration and invasion of Kwara communities, by bandits, jihadists, Boko Haram, them, whatever it is. It's unfortunate that the president himself was not able to mention different jihadist sects in the north, but he was able to mention IPOB and ESN. But today, has been reported that ESN is being invited to Kwara. And then the question is, why is the Kwara government inviting ESN, according to that report? Maybe it's not far-fetched. The reason might not be far-fetched. We have seen ESN successes in different parts of Igbo land, speculating while the Fulani jihadists are saying now that they are finding it very difficult, to penetrate the Biafra land. And penetration of the Biafra land, has become a burden to them, meaning what? That, of course, without government intervention, without government protection or whatever, even though we have seen on different cases where government agencies and institutions have come out clearly to say Nigerians should go and learn karat. Nigerians should go and learn how to defend themselves. To an extent, we saw Danjuma, saying that, Nigerians should be armed to defend themselves. But unfortunately, we have not been able to get enough result as a result of, that statement. But the fact still remains is that, why would the Kwara government, seek the intervention of ESN? What we are hearing today might be a surprise to many, but it has led to, I can watch on the background of this video, there's a mass exodus because so many communities in that area have been lost to invasions, bandits. But we saw Sunday Mohu saying that he should be enabled to step in here. But if it is that serious, why do we not have the government has reported, seeking intervention? It might not come directly from the government. Might be the possibility that, the indigenous of Kwara State, who have known and who have certain information concerning Fulani activities, trying to invade the Biafra land, and they find it very difficult, to invade that, maybe because of the presence of ESN and the resistance that followed. We saw what happened between Benue and Enugu communities, where they were totally, reported to have been flushed out completely by Eastern Security Network. Well, that is the essence why Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is still there today, because before now, let me say in 2015, 2017, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu predicted and begin to warm up for this resistance that has virtually paid off. If the president of ESN in Kwara State is something to be celebrated by the Kwara people, then we know how that is going to work out, what modalities and whatever. But the fact is that that axis of Kwara State is completely empty. It has been invaded, and we are seeing mass exodus of these people. Some are heading towards Cameroon, some are heading towards the eastern part of the country. The reason is very clear that that is the only place they can find peace, where they are sure of protecting themselves, protecting their families, protecting not even whatever religion, as in maybe most of them are Christianity or most of them are still Muslims who were being involved in that crisis that the federal government up till now has not been able to actually come in and see how they're going to step down. Imagine institutions of this government saying that Nigerians should learn some other thing, or they should learn something else, or how they're going to defend themselves. But now that how is it going to work? What is the importance of ESN stepping into that axis to protect Kwara citizens? Well, will it be an embarrassment to the Gambari government of Kwara State saying that, because we know that to an extent, they have the people who claim that they have actually the custodians or the indigenous people of Kwara might have, lost their territories to conquest, to jihadist tendencies in that state. Surprisingly, as it may be, ESN now in Kwara State. How would you justify that? Then what is the reason for that invitation? Could it be seen that actually ESN, has recorded some certain victory against these people, considering the fact that, within the Biafran ISIS, sharing the Idoma, Benue ISIS, and of course Enugu, that they are present, irrespective that the state governors themselves are kicking against it, but they were able to accept that responsibility, according to Mazin Namdekan, of which purpose they were created, to question and stop this invasion that is currently taking place. A lot of people did not see what is happening in Kwara coming, but it has come, unfortunately, and they are saying at this point in time that they intend to continue their invasion in whatever way they deem fit. They will not be able to record the presence of military in terms of trying to defend the citizens of Kwara. Maybe some powerful people of Kwara, is demanding the presence of ESN in Kwara State. And when that is done, they believe it will restore peace. But the fact is that now we have seen thousands of citizens, some are moving to Cameroon, some are also moving to Biafra land. They said that is only where they can find peace. You can see the mass exodus, women, children, men, old men and women. Nigeria have lost it completely, and that is the sign of what is coming. That's the sign that something that's actually playing on the background. On the background, there's a movement towards that direction. That if care is not taken, it will bring some cessation of territories. Yes, I can tell you that. Very well, that if the world wants peace in Nigeria, then they should look at the angle of recognizing the Biafra as a nation, as a Christian nation, where these people who fought otherwise, they cannot be under this kind of threat and massacre always, maybe in the name of faith, maybe in the name of religion, maybe in the name of political conquest, whatever it is, they are targeting. Say, okay, this is the only hope we have. Can the world understand and show solidarity to them? Because at the end of the day, no matter the amount of sanctions you put on them, no matter on the amount of restriction, visa ban you put on Nigerian, politicians and the presidency regarding the already, tense situation in Nigeria currently now. This is where it's happening. Then where will they go for security at the end of the day? You place sanction on them, where would they go to protect their lives? Can they be guaranteed that with all these sanctions that we are going to have, reduce attacks by bandits, Boko Haram, sects, and different kind of jihadists, plan that is already going on? That's the question for everyone out there in the presidency, and of course the international community who are thinking otherwise in that direction, to know exactly what they need to do. Well, the facts still remain that now they are heading to Biafran land. Are we going to say this is what it is, that they have found peace in Biafran land, and they are going to align, with where they feel that their religion, their interests, and their livelihood can be protected? That's the question, and that's one of the reasons why today, even though there's a systematic gang up against, the proclamation and the reawakening of a one man that is being kept in DSS custody today, facing countless, court judgment without trial. This is pure illegality. And having said that, we saw in Enugu State currently now what is going on. We saw the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, making some certain statement concerning Alex Oti. We can see a lot of things. We might not be able to get actually what is actually playing on ground, but the Southwest, this middle belt, can at least attest to themselves that the Igbo people, that the Biafran people are not terrorists, and any organization that they form to protect their livelihood, according to United Nations Charter that guarantees self-defense, guarantees self-determination, it can be seen to be people who has what it takes, to understand what it means to come into existence, understand what human being is all about, understand that, it is unfortunate for people to come and disallow people, take lives, unnecessarily. And that is why they are moving towards Biafra land. And if care is not taken, and that is what is going to be a land of peace, that's what is going to be a kingdom that has been projected, for the reality on ground. Can Nigerian government understand this thing very clearly? If they can be inviting ESN, that means ESN has actually done a lot of work in that regard. But another factor we are looking at this point in time, who is going to stop the North from this, what is going on today? Can Bola Ahmed Tinubu understand that, it just requires him to be very decisive, and that decision is purely going to be based on what the federal government want to achieve. Do the federal government want this thing to continue? If they don't want this thing to continue, return Nigeria to Aburi. As simple as that. Return Nigeria to federalism. Return Nigeria where regions can be self-governed, where regions, can be able to have their own security. I think this thing will stop. But you can see that the quest for crude oil, the quest for exploration, the quest for pollution, the quest for corruption and criminality has taken over 500,000 Christians' lives in Nigeria, attracting global condemnation. That's what it is this morning. But I can show you in honest truth that the direction we are going now will see us to the next move of what is going to happen. A lot of them from Kwara, unbelievable, is asking and are seeking attention and coverage by Biafran, ESN, and of course Biafrans to actually give them a space. And if Nigeria disintegrates today, Biafra is going to be that kingdom that will always be there for humanity, both within and outside Nigeria. Thank you.
If you are still watching, click on the like button, drop your comment, and also share this program. Subscribe if you have not done so. God bless you and have a nice day.